Hello everybody, welcome back to a new video, another tier list, and right then, don't mind the shouting in the background, but I'm doing a tier list, with the plant side on PvZ heroes. This is really the first one I've ever done, but in this one I'm going to be ranking all of the basic cards. What do I mean by basic? Well, these are the cards that you get at the start of the game when you unlock a class. So, when you first get Green Shadow, you get Smarty and Mega Grow. Those two have the most amount of basics for the plant side. And then as you unlock other heroes, like Solar Flare and Trompzilla, you start to unlock the other classes, and that's when you get the other classes. So, with that said, here is the tier list. Let's start with D tier. Now, with D tier, I just basically put all the 1-cost 1/1s, because they're trash. I put Sunflower in here as well, because she's really not that useful. She just gets removed quite easily, and she doesn't do any damage, but if you're lucky, you might get some out of it. Let's go over to C. Now, first we have Cabbage Pult. This really doesn't do enough. I really wish if this was like, I don't know, 2-cost 2/2, and then it, like, increases by 1/1 maybe. That might be better, probably not. This just really isn't a good card because it just doesn't do that much damage. And the fact that it only works on heights as well, if you put this on the ground, then you're dumb. Moving on to Torchwood. Now, you would think Torchwood is actually good because of Peas, but it just gets removed easily. I mean, it's only got 3 health, so it can be removed by a lot of things by the zombies. So, I mean, this is good defense, I guess, if you're, like, about to die. But, yeah, it's not great. Also, why is Torchwood in 2 of them? Get rid of him. Let's go over to Squash. Now, Squash really does cost too much. Like, 5 to kill 1 zombie. It just doesn't feel like it's worth it. And also, if they put, like, multiple guys with multiple strength, you can only remove 1. So, yeah, that's why I put Squash in here, because he's just too expensive. Smushroom looks better than it actually is. You see, the thing with Basic, they never have good stats, except from Snowdrop, and maybe some others. But Smush, or Smushroom, why am I saying Smush? Is just not good stats for a 5-cost. Yeah, it does 5 damage, which is okay, but it's only got 4 health. I guess if they play like a big minion, just by itself, you can put this in another lane, but that big minion's probably going to do a lot more damage. Well, depends what they put down, actually. So, yeah, he goes in there. Free Peter costs too much, and also just, it only really does like 1 damage. Although, to be honest, though, Free Peter mixed with Torchwood is actually really good, and Fertilize, that is actually really good combo. Probably one of the best combos for the basic cards. But I don't know, I just feel like, except from that, it's just really not good. You never really want to be using this in anything. And the fact that this is only really good with Green Shadow because she actually has Torchwood is just, yeah. It's completely useless with other heroes. So yeah, that's why we put Free Peter in C. Next we have Walnut, which is probably the best 1-cost of the plant side with the basics. Now that I say that, there's Snowdrop above. Never mind, he's the 2nd best. It's just good defense, honestly. It's got 6 health, it can block pretty much everything. This is just so good, like, if you want to build up good cards and you don't want them hitting you, you can just put this down. It's not a bad card, not a good one either, but it's pretty alright. I might actually move this guy up to B tier, actually. Because as a 1-cost, it's actually pretty good. Why is it in S tier? It is not that good. In fact, I will say Walnut is probably better than Snowdrop. I don't know though, it's a tie. Anyway, let's get to Seedling. Now, Seedling just is meh. Some people actually use it as defense for some reason, and that's probably because of how unreliable it is. I mean, to be honest, I have won games with this before, but I don't know, it just gets removed easily. Like, it's 1 health. You could just stick a guy in front of it. You can stick a freaking skunk punk in front of it, and it just deals with it. Although, to be honest, though, actually, now that I think about it, zombies play first. Oh, but wait a minute, there's Bungee Plumber. Anyway, moving on to Buffshroom. This is pretty bad, not gonna lie. The fact that it only does 1/1 as well. Now, I guess this is okay to use with, like, 2 for Shroom, or Shroom for 2. I got it the wrong way around. Other than that, I don't know. It's just kind of like meh. It doesn't really buff them that much. I don't know why it's called Buffshroom when it barely buffs them. Also, just doesn't have good stats for a 2. I mean, it literally is a 2-cost 1/1 until it buffs itself and it's 2. Otherwise, this will just be pure bad. Next, we have Cattail. This is not good. It's really not good. First of all, its stats are terrible. This gets killed by Bungee Plumber. And the cost of it is bad. And also, yeah, there's an argument, well, it's amphibious, so we don't have, this and that. It'll do damage. It'll do 3 damage, mate. There's more things that will do damage than 3 in this game that cost less than Cattail. If you put Spikeweed Sector down, and we'll turn 2, and pray that it don't get removed by another environment, and you put down Lantern, or whatever his name is, that's 4 bullseye damage. More than Cattail. On the same turn. Anyway, moving on to Spineapple. Spineapple? Something. This actually is okay to use with walnuts, as if you've got like loads of walnuts and loads of stuff that doesn't do damage, that's defending, then you're going to give them damage and able to weaken the zombies that are trying to kill it. Now, other than that, it's not that great. I mean, it only does it to plants that have no attack damage at all. So, like, walnuts, potato mines, all the normal stuff. And it only buffs it by 2 as well, which isn't the worst, but sometimes it's not enough. So yeah, this is really good to use in nut decks, I guess, if you ever made a nut deck, which I probably won't. So yeah, that's why Spineapple goes in there. B tier, Fertilize. This is underrated, I think. Loads of people hate Fertilize and just cards like it. I feel like it's worth it, to be honest. Like, the amount of, like, stats it gives you is just not even fair, I don't think. If you've got, like, Repeater or, what's his name? Free Peter, you just buff this. It's going to do so much damage. Like, I don't know why barely anyone uses it. It's actually better than you think. And even if you have other plants, it's just going to give them so many good stats. This is so underrated, honestly. Next we have Flourish. Now, to be honest, I don't know why I put this in B tier, but I guess I put it in because it gives you 2 cards. I might remove it and put it on C tier, because I just think it costs too much, Card draw is definitely better for zombies. So yeah, Flourish, C tier. It used to be in B tier, but I moved it. Next we move on to Snow Pea. I put this in here actually because of freeze decks. I mean, you just put this in front of a big enemy they've put down and it's going to freeze them. It's going to buff Snowdrop. It's going to, freeze them. And if you have Winter Squash, then that's pretty good. Not going to lie. But the bad thing about it is its stats, obviously, and how it can be removed pretty easily. So yeah, B tier, it's kind of average. Next we have Sting Bean. This isn't bad to start off. I'd say Guardian probably overall has most of the good one costs for the basic. I don't think I'd say that for the whole game. But Sting Bean is actually really, really good. Like, you just put this in Amphibious Lane, I guess is the argument that it just gets killed easily, which is true. But if they don't, then it's one bullseye damage, which is okay. It's weakening them. And if you're with Grass Knuckles, you just buff this with Fertilize and other stuff. Then it becomes quite good. It's okay to win in Guardian decks. I only won this with Grass Knuckles and that's it. But yeah, it's not bad. I'd say it's, I don't know if this is actually on the way in. But anyway, we're moving on to Snowdrop. Now, Snowdrop is pretty much the one cost freeze plant. I mean, it doesn't freeze plant itself, but if you freeze a zombie, you just have this guy down. It increases its stats by a lot for one cost as well. This is probably the best one cost basic plant because it just does so much. Yeah, it gets killed easily, but that it's a one cost. It's gonna get killed easily. That's kind of what a one cost is. It's just something to put down. I mean, some one costs are hard to get rid of, like Conman, because he's got 3 health. He is S tier. He's better than every single basic card, but it's the plants. We're talking about plants here. Yeah, do you have Walnut as well? A one cost that like just doesn't die on turn 1. But why am I talking about Walnut? I've already talked about him. So yeah, Snowdrop, not bad. Next we have Repeater. Ah yes, Repeater and Torchwood. Very good together, like in Plants vs Zombies 2. Now, by itself, not that good. It costs a little bit too much. But if you do have Torchwoods down, and you have Fertilized the next go, this is going to do a lot of damage. It's that bonus damage though. You see, it has repeat. So if this kills or just survives an attack, why it's also fine. I'm getting it wrong. They basically attack. That's bad. I just got rid of the tier list by accident. Hold up, this is not we're okay, guys. We're okay, guys. This is why I took a photo of it. Where were we? Repeater, yeah, okay. Next we have Smushroom. So Smushroom buffs a plant by 2/2, which isn't bad. This is good with Tactical Bustable actually. But this is really not a bad card to run in any Mega Grow deck. I mean, it does get outclassed. I mean, it dies easily, but to be honest, it's not supposed to be, like, really strong. It's just there to buff something. And, yeah, that's pretty much its only use. I wouldn't say that, like, you would run this when you're, like, high in the game. But I'm not high in the game, so I am going to use it. But it's not bad. I like it. He's cool. Next we have Pismashi. I don't know how to pronounce it. This thing. As a 2 cost, it's okay, but it just doesn't do anything. The stats on it are good. It's just the fact that it has no ability that makes this really bad, actually. I mean, there's better, like, 2 cost, 2 free. I'm going to go to the zombie side for a minute, but we've got Sumo Wrestler. He actually has a decent ability. This, however, doesn't, and it's kind of sad. Because I feel like this should have an ability. Otherwise, it'd be probably an A or S, if it had a good ability. But, yeah, this is just going to sit there in the B tier. Next, we go up to A tier, and first we start off with a really underrated card, Zapricot. Okay, start us off, it does 4 damage and 2 health. Now you're probably just going to say, well, it gets removed by Bungee Plumber. Well, you see, Zapricot is really good to use if they overcommit on 1 turn. You see, let's say they play something that costs 3, and it's bad, which it mainly is. You could just put down Zapricot in a random other lane, It's doing 4 damage to face. I only really use this with Solar Flare, as this does kind of get outclassed. I mean, the 2 health really makes it, like, it just sometimes feels unplayable. But if you're lucky, you're going to get a lot of credit out of this. So yeah, that's why it's in A tier. Next, we have Mixed Nuts. A really, 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 really good card. Like, this is probably one of the better cards in the Solar class, in fact. I think this is the best Solar basic card. Second is Smashing Pumpkin. We'll get to him in a minute. But seriously, though, this just has such a good ability. Especially if you are running this with Wall Knight. Because you have so many team-ups in Guardian and Solar Sunflower. This is just basically really good in a basic Wall Knight deck. When I was using it to get all of these challenges done, I found that this one was actually really good in carrying me. So that's why I used Mixed Nuts. It's a really good card. It's good. Next we move on to Smashing Pumpkin. Now, I don't know why, but I just feel like this is so good. Like, it's literally Smashing Pumpkin. This kills pretty much most things. Yeah, I guess, I mean, it doesn't really have good stats for a 6 cost. But, say what it does and what you can do with it. It's not that bad, actually. If they overcommit, you know, just play it in a random lane if it's empty. Win 6 damage. Not bad, not great, decent. But guys, the best card of the basics is easily Berry Blast. I don't know what you guys were expecting, but this card is not fair. It does 3 damage, and it costs 2. 3 damage, and it costs 2. This card, it doesn't matter what deck you're running. You have to run this in that deck for Kabloom. This is honestly probably, in my opinion, the best plant card, maybe. I don't know if we're going that far. But out of the basics, it's definitely the best. Doing 3 damage in this game is so good. It kills Conman, you know, the best 1 cost. Well, in my opinion, anyway. This just kills so much. And if you're weakening your enemy with Captain Combustible, then you just play Berry Blast. I mean, you're playing 4 of them, so you're probably going to have more than 1 in your deck. Well, your starting hand. And look at that, you just beat him. Also, Berry Blast is just such a troll card, honestly. This is so good. Berry Blast, best card. Best card out of all of these here. So, yeah. That's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tier list. Next tier list video, I'll do the basics again, but with zombies, which also has some S tier cards, because why wouldn't it? I think you know what that one's going to be, to be honest. It's a certain plumber. But, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed.